Hi there, my name's Jurell Sison. I'm a Filipino American living in Cleveland, Ohio. Been born and raised in Cleveland, Ohio. I thought I'd do a video to support my good friend Krysten Cotone, and I thought that if nothing else, this could be, a form of awareness. She gave me 5 basic steps that's called something like the model of Asian American identity development. So I'm going to follow those steps and just kind of walk through, I guess, my life. This video can also be called #Filipino American Problems. I guess stage 1 can be summed up by, the culture that I grew up with. I grew up with 2 loving parents that wanted me to grow up in the States and 2 grandparents that wanted me to grow up in the States. So I grew up in a Filipino, Tagalog-speaking family. I grew up eating rice every day for every single meal, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Even to this day, we have rice for breakfast. The traditional Filipino way of eating food is with your hands. My parents sometimes ate food with their hands. My dad, most of the time, if not all the time, ate food with his hands. It's just the traditional way. Most people don't know that. The next more polite or more American way to eat is with a spoon and a fork. A spoon and a fork. I didn't know anything else. All I did was eat what was put in front of me, and I lived in a culture at home, and when I went to preschool, and kindergarten, I know that my cousin has the same story. They went around and shared their favorite foods, and me and my cousin, they said, "What's your favorite food?" We said, "Chocolate meat." No one knew what the heck we were talking about. But chocolate meat is this like beef and pork in this really dark sauce, and what it is that it's cow's blood, like boiled up with vinegar. Yeah, it's called dinuguan. Okay, stage 2. I would call stage 2 kind of like the culture that formed me, which is, I guess, the white American traditional Midwest culture. Now, I don't actually remember this, but I have videos, home videos of me, during my grade school years, and I had a thick accent. There is a distinct Filipino accent, and I had it when I was little. I don't remember it, but there are videos that have me talking in this really thick Filipino accent. So I had an accent, it disappeared, probably because of the culture that surrounded me at school. I didn't fit in because I was a minority student. I was Filipino, I was brown, and I wanted to be white, and I was going to do everything that I could to fit in and be white. I did a lot of things to just hide my culture. Nobody came over, nobody called my house. Nobody came over my house because, look at the foods that were in our fridge, look at the rice that's on the counter. We eat weird, we eat with our hands. Nobody wanted to be embarrassed like that, and neither did I. So for that reason, I kept my home life at home and my school life at school. My last name is Sison, but at school, my last name began to be pronounced Sison because it was an easier, American pronunciation of the name. For maybe about 15 years, I was Jurell Sison, and they came up to me and did the squinty eye thing, whatever, and did the Chinese, Japanese, blah blah blah, ooh la la, look at these, or whatever. But all I knew was that I was being made fun of, and for being Asian. In grade school, I was called a number of different things. When I first got there, people gave me the nickname Pedro because I was, Hispanic. And I went with it because it allowed me to fit in. I was also identified with the foreign exchange student, Fez from that 70s show. I was called a number of different things, especially after September 11th. I was called a terrorist. People would come up to me during recess and be like, "Oh, look, he's got a bomb, run!" A sand N-word. Nobody deserves to be called a sand N-er. So I guess in step 2, you could say that I, was trying to abandon this Filipino culture of mine. So step 3, it was a point in time where I was beginning to rediscover myself again, beginning to learn to love myself and who I am. I began to see the goodness in my culture again. I also started introducing my family to some of my friends, and inviting them over for dinner or for just to hang out. Stage 4, I would say that I have definitely reconnected with the Filipino culture and tried my best to mesh it with the culture that I am, which is American. You know, I am a Filipino American. I don't really know what step 5 says, but I'll just treat step 5 as where I am now. I guess I'm still trying to figure that out. It doesn't really work by looking it up in a textbook. It's different for everybody. In general, I feel at home, but that is because I surround myself with people that love me. But also, in general, I am a minority. I just kind of don't fit in the right way. And it's because of my Filipino heritage. But if I go to the Philippines, then I can't speak the language. I have an accent. I'm an American. In the Philippines, I'm a minority. I just don't fit in the right way. I don't quite fit into the American culture, and I don't quite fit into the Filipino culture. At the end of the day, where do I feel most comfortable? Where do I feel at home? It's with my family, my friends, my loved ones, where I feel loved and included, and people care about me, and skin tone doesn't matter, culture doesn't really matter, and it's just the way that we live our life. So my name is Jurell, and I am a proud Filipino American.